Hello. Hello. Now today we start the new course, that is Python programming course for the beginners. In this particular course we learn about the basics of Python and some basic concept regarding the Python programming languages, how to install the Python, which are the different IDEs or which are the different applications to run the Python programs. Okay, this course is useful for the beginners. Now these are the course contents of this particular course. In this we will learn about the introduction or basic introduction about the Python, then module, comments and pip, what is modules, what is comments and what is pip into the Python programming languages, then variables and the data types, how to use that variables, how to declare that variables in the Python programming languages, then different strings operations, list and tuples, dictionary, sets, flow control statements that are present into the Python programming languages, loops in a Python, functions and recursion, file input output, object oriented programming, inheritance in a Python and Python advanced. And now last we learn about the project that is depend on all these contents. Okay, now the next move towards this. First of all, what is the Python programming languages? The Python is a powerful general purpose programming languages. We already learn about the more languages like C languages, C++ languages. Doesn't matter if you don't know regarding the C as well as C++, we can directly learn the Python programming also. It is used in a web development, data science, creating the software prototype and so on. There are the different applications of the Python programming languages, and recently the more companies are used the Python programming languages for their development. And for the beginners, the Python has a same syntax or simple syntax that is useful for the beginners, and the beginners can easily learn that all the syntax, and this makes the Python an excellent language to learn to program for the beginners. Okay, that is short introduction regarding the Python programming languages. Now there are the some different features that are available into the Python programming languages. The first feature of the Python language is it is easy to code. Anyone can learn to code in a Python in just few hours or the few days. Okay, now the second feature of the Python programming is easy to read. Python code looks like a simple English word in that the simple syntaxes are used, hence it is very easy to read that particular language code program. Next feature of the Python is free and open source. The Python is developed under the OSI approved open source license. We can easily download the Python IDEs from the website that are easily available, and that is a open source language. Then the Rebus standard library. In the Python programming languages there are the various inbuilt libraries are available. By using that library the code will get minimized, and all the unit testing or all the functionalities can be easy to implement into the Python programming languages. Now the next feature of the Python is interpreted. There is no need to compile the Python because it is proceed at a runtime by the interpreter. It is one of the feature of the Python programming languages. Then the next one is a portable. The Python is a portable in sense that the same code can be used on a different machines. Okay, then the next feature is object oriented and the procedure oriented. Both the features are included into the Python programming languages. The object oriented, if it focuses on the design around the data and the objects rather than the functions and the logic. It includes both the features of programming languages, that is object oriented means inheritance concept is here, operator overloading concept is also available into the Python programming. Okay, this is also the one of the feature of the Python programming languages. Then the next feature is support for the GUI. The Python offers the various toolkits or various libraries or various modules. We can build the GUI as into the Python programming languages, such as a tkinter is one of the module that is present into the Python feature, same as VX Python and JP Python, which allows for the GUI's easy and fast development. These are some features of the Python programming languages. Apart from that, there are the various features are also available into the Python programming languages. Now we see the how to install the Python in our PC. Okay, now for that purpose we require the one website, that is simply you have to type the Python downloads on the Google. Simply you have to type the Python download. Now this is the website where all the versions of Pythons are available, that is python.org. Now click on the python.org. Here is the latest version of the Python is available, that is download Python 3.10.5. if you have having the operating system Windows, Linux, Mac OS and other operating system, there are the various versions of Pythons are available. In my particular system there is a Windows operating system. For that purpose I click on the Windows, and now we have to see here there is they mention that the 3.10.4 cannot be used on a Windows 7 or earlier version. Okay, then by reading this we have to download as per your PC's requirement. Okay, now in my particular PC, the my PC having the OS is 32-bit. Then how we can check the OS? Simply you have to go to the My Computer and right click on the properties. Here are some properties of your PC, that is my PC having the system type is 32-bit and the RAM is 400 GB. Okay, now you have to download the Python versions from here. यहाँ पे हम देख सकते हैं, यहाँ पे पाइथन वर्जन हम डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. 3.9.8 कैन नॉट बी यूज फॉर द विंडोज 7. ओके, 3.8.12 यहाँ पे 3.8.8 कैन नॉट बी यूज्ड ऑन अ विंडोज XP और अर्लियर. इट मीन्स इट इज़ यूजफुल फॉर द विंडोज 7. Okay, now I am downloading this particular version from this Windows installer 32-bit because my system is a 32-bit system type. Click on this particular, the download is available here. Okay, यहाँ पे डाउनलोड हो गया. Simply you have to just double click on this, run, install now. Okay, this process, the installation of the Python is going on. It might take some several minutes. This is a simple procedure to download the Python. There are the various versions are available. Depending on your PC specification, you have to download the versions on that particular site. See, there are the various versions of the Pythons are available. Now the recent or the mostly used version of the Python or a recently released version or the latest version for the Windows is 3.10.5. Okay, you can also download these Python versions for the Linux, Unix and Mac OS also. It might take some few minutes. Okay, after the Python installation we required one IDE to develop the implementation in the Python programming languages. For that purpose we use the Visual Studio Code, VS Code. That is one of the IDE present. In that we have to implement all type of programming languages code. Okay, now how to download that Visual Studio Code? Simply you have to just type in a Google Visual Studio Code download for the Windows 7, because my system having the Windows 7 operating system and the system type is 32-bit. That's why I am typing here, and here we can see that on this particular site the Visual Studio is available. Click on the free download. Okay, here is one button that is start download. We can download these Visual Studio versions for the 32-bit operating system and Windows 7. Okay, the downloading is get started. Now this Python is the Python was successfully installed on your. Now our Visual Studio is get installed. Okay, now we have to see here. Simply just double click on this particular Visual Studio, run. Okay, my PC already in my PC the already Visual Studio is get installed, that's why we cannot install this again. Okay, now simply I am just opening that Visual Studio window. This is the window for the Visual Studio. Okay, now here we can see that this is the window for typing the code. Now when you first time install the Visual Studio into your PC, that time you must install the extension of Python. Okay, यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो, यहाँ पे एक आइकॉन है that indicates the extension. Simply click on this particular icon or simply type the Python. Okay, after typing the Python आपको यहाँ पे दिखेगा Python. Simply click on this. This is the Python extension for doing the Python programs. Okay, in my Visual Studio already the Python extension is get installed, that's why here are the buttons are available: disable and install and switch to the pre-release version. Okay, but when you install this first time, that time only the one button is available, that is the install. Simply you have to click on that install button. Okay, after the installation the Python is get installed. Okay, now after the installation of the Python, you simply do the one program. For doing the one program, click on this particular file, that is a new file, and you have to give the name to that particular file. Okay, simply 01, suppose this is my first program, 01 program.py, and always save the Python program by using the extension .py. Okay, simply enter. यहाँ पे आपका फाइल ओपन हो गया, that is 01 program.py. Now you have to simply just type the one single line program that is printing the hello world. Okay, hello world. Okay, now that's it. Now after doing this particular program, you must run that program. Now here is a button is available, that is run Python file. Okay, at the right corner the one button is available, that is a run Python file. Simply click on that and the hello world is get display over here. Okay, this is the simple program of doing into the Visual Studio of Python, and that program just simply print the word, that is a hello world. Okay, this is one of the method to implement or to do the program into the Visual Studio. Now when we download that Python, one IDE is get available, that is Python IDE. यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो, यहाँ पे ओके आपके पास Visual Studio नहीं है तो आप यहाँ पे भी प्रोग्राम कर सकते हो. ओके, this the shell is available, that is simply you have to type, that is print hello. Okay, hello, and just enter. This is the print hello statement. Okay, this is just like a command prompt program. And आपकी यहाँ पे Visual Studio नहीं तो आप यहाँ पे भी Python का प्रोग्राम रन कर सकते हो. इंस्टेड ऑफ दिस यहाँ पे एक फाइल नाम का ऑप्शन है. बाय क्लिकिंग ऑन द फाइल ऑप्शन, टेक द न्यू फाइल. यहाँ पे आपको क्या करना है कि प्रोग्राम को टाइप करना है. सिंपली आई एम जस्ट कॉपिंग दिस. एंड पेस्ट. ओके, और यहाँ पे आपकी फाइल को क्या करना है, सेव करना है. यहाँ पे आपको नाम देना है, दैट इज़ program.py. ओके, और सेव. सेव के बाद यहाँ पे एक मॉड्यूल है दैट इज़ अ रन मॉड्यूल, और सिंपली यू कैन प्रेस द F5, सिंपली क्लिक ऑन द रन मॉड्यूल। यहाँ पे हेलो वर्ड आपका प्रिंट होके आ जाएगा। जब आपके पास VS कोड अवेलेबल नहीं है तो आप यहाँ पे भी पाइथन के सिंपल प्रोग्राम रन कर सकते हो बाय सिंपली इंस्टॉलिंग द पाइथन वर्जन्स, जो हमने इंस्टॉल किया था 3.8.10 for the Windows 7 and 32-bit operating system. Depending on your PC's requirement, you have to download any versions from that particular website, that is python.org, and you have to install that Python versions. It is a very simple process to install the Python versions in your PC, and you have to start the Python programming or learn the Python programming. Okay, thank you.